Welcome back to the Pennyloafer Bombsquad. Lucas here, doing another video of Caesar 4 by the requests of the viewers. I'm on Tier 3 right now, and I've been having some difficulty with this Caralis map, but I've been practicing it, and I've beat it a couple times now, so I think I'm set to go through and actually show how I go about doing this. It's probably not the best tactic in the world, but I've been doing it successfully a couple times in a row, so. And I'm gonna go ahead. Basically, it's just trade base map. You get quite a few resources in the map itself, but it's Rome. It'll request things like clothing and stuff like that, but not too often. It more or less wants trade revenue, so it'll ask for 700-800 deniers every once in a while, but it's not too bad. It says you don't have to worry about rebels coming in and invading, but you actually do still get them. So that was a little misleading, but luckily, once I figured out kind of what I'm supposed to be doing, it didn't become too big of an issue. The map itself, pretty lush all the way around, which I hate building on the lush land because I could use that for resources, but I have found if I take care of everything on this side of the map in terms of crops and sheep and cattle and stuff like that, it works out pretty good. And then I reserve this area over here for the civilians, and I keep the factories over here too. Ports usually go over here. I reserve one port for down here, because I'm still having issues where the warehouses, you know, they'll fill up, which is fine and dandy, but they're not transporting things to the markets as much as I would like. So my trade actually kind of suffers from it a little bit, so I had to kind of rearrange ports around. But I'm gonna go with this, and I've also been kind of reworking how I set up my early stages, because it's kind of been biting me in the ass, not gonna lie. I'm not building too crazily right off the bat. I'm kind of being a little more reserved and letting things kind of go their own course instead of trying to force stuff to be all done and ready to go right away. And let's see. Definitely gonna need a couple of those. Then I'll just continue the road through and build a factory right off the bat. Right next to it. So there's a very short distance for them to travel to get that factory up and going. Little pop up there. Don't you just hate that? When you're busy with a game, and on these kind of games it doesn't matter as much, but if you're actually kind of, you know, fighting somebody or anything like that, and that kind of crap pops up, and then all of a sudden you're still getting attacked because the game's still going, and it just kind of screws up your whole plan. Let's get a few of these. Tuck them in the trees a little bit. You know, I'm just going to start with that. I've been noticing a lot, too, these equestrians, they're definitely, I think I need these more than anything. You know, a lot of your city government and government offices and entertainment and religion all need that. The working class, you know, they're necessary, but I think you need more equestrians than anything. And they're not really that needing. Let's see. Basic food market to start off with. Get some of the government stuff right away. Of course, I always like to build all these kind of guys together. Just easier to manage for me. I don't lose track of them as easily. Now I will have to place another couple of these buildings off over here later, and over here with all the factories, at least the prefect office that stopped fires from the factories. And we'll go with a basic shrine too right away. Just so I don't get struck with lightning. And then place a couple of these right away too. Go pretty mild with my setup. And the way I did it last time is how I'm doing it now, and I never really had issues with property values. It kind of, like, these guys never really complained. The patrician class, they always complain, but you kind of just get used to that. And I actually placed them on the main road last time. I just had more room for entertainment when they were way over here. And I always leave a little gap in between the road and themselves just so I can place trees and other random things like that. And I got rid of this road right away too. Stagger it out a little bit. Give me more room for my pump house, because this land right here is pretty much worthless. You can't really do anything with it. So I've been putting my pump house there. Seems to be working pretty well. And not quite sure I'm going to put the reservoir quite yet, so I'll just kind of finish my road going through. Oops. There we go. I think I might need one more little domus there to take care of the jobs I already need. And I won't know if that tax office will reach here yet right away or not. I'm pretty sure it will. I'm gonna stop with that for now. I'm gonna go back over here and I'm gonna do some vegetable fields. I generally start with a grain field, and I will. Don't get me wrong, I'll have a couple of those, but I'm gonna start right off the bat with vegetable fields, just because if you look at the empire here, we got Narbonensis, if that's pronounced right. They're really close. They're really cheap to open up trade with, and they demand vegetables. Well, I can grow a lot of vegetables right away, and that'll give me a nice cheap form of income. And then I will end up doing, I won't need this except for iron. And the only reason I need iron is if I want to make utensils, and for entertainment purposes, I'll need iron to make swords for the gladiators. But I'll end up opening trade with a couple of these guys just so I can get their exotic goods, because that's going to be essential to beating this mission. But I'm going to open up trade with Narbonensis right now. Get that out of the way. And I'm going to build them pretty much in the center of town here, because I'll have my food sources coming in right here. Yeah, since Rome is going to be kind of demanding when it comes to getting their money, I want to be able to get my trade income in right away. That'll be the key to survival on this one. So I'm going to go a little overboard right away. For my population, you know, I really don't need this much. And then a couple little farms right in the trees here. Then I'll put a warehouse here. And this is far enough away where it doesn't anger them. I'll put a little granary right here. So it's right close to everything, so that'll work out perfect for trading. And they'll have pottery. They're gonna need a warehouse, because this will fill up pretty quick, especially when I get another factory in there. Let's see. I need that reservoir. I want to kind of centralize it, but I don't want it too close to anything in particular, because everyone hates these darn things. You would think that they would be kind of content with being close to them, because, you know, it's a source of water. But they actually get pretty ticked off about it. I don't know if it's the sound. I mean, even the lower class get upset about it, even if that's running in their backyard. And then the quintessential fountain. Let's see. It's gonna be kind of crammed up in here. These are they're pretty cheap. So I'll put one there. I'll put one over here. I got plenty of room up in the trees, so I'm actually gonna put it right there. Okay, and then what was another thing they wanted right away? I think they were pretty upset when they didn't get it immediately. It actually wouldn't hurt. I know they wanted wine pretty quickly too, which is kind of crazy. And that was more or less Rome that wanted that. I'm gonna get some grain in here just to get some food variety. I kind of screwed myself on that part. Should have angled it out. Let's see if I can sneak one more. That'll have to do. That'll actually work. Right there. I need 3 of them. And then they'll take that right over to the granary right away, so then I can get to the food market right away too. I'm gonna go and start playing right now. See if I can get some of this kicking. See what I need to take care of immediately. Let's see. I really should get some clothing made. At least the 2 different food varieties will, you know, keep people content food-wise for a little while. And let's see. Okay, everyone's filled up. Let's see what they want.
Our city doesn't have enough workers.
They need more workers. Food is fine. Let's see. Am I shorthanded on any of these? Nope, that's actually doing pretty good. They need more of these kind of workers. If I had some basic goods right now, I probably wouldn't have to worry about it as much. But we're going to get a couple more little homes there. And then I think some sheep pastures are in order. I'll kind of cram them over here as much as possible. Because in this little tiny areas right here, I can use that for wine. Because they don't take up that much room. And I'm trying not to build so close to the edge here, because later in the game, just to get your rating up higher, they want city walls. But I'm able to get away with not having to do it. And oh, this is kind of, I'm gonna have to do it down here. And then what I can do with that is I can build my factory down here for clothing. It's a little bit of a strut to get down there, but you know, you do what you gotta do. Build the road out a little bit. I'm gonna build that factory right away, because that's kind of nice to have. You know, I'm gonna put that government building down here right now before I forget about it. I'll put it right here in the trees, because I can't do anything with that anyway. That's what I like those little buildings for. You can kind of just tuck in the woods, because you can't delete those trees. They're permanently there. And then, what was that other port I put down here eventually? I think it was for, oh shoot, I don't even remember. Was it for wine? I bet it was. I bet it was for wine. I ended up putting that other port down there. Yeah, because that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter as much. These guys are nice because they give you salt and jewelry, which is some pretty basic stuff. Or expensive stuff, I should say. And it's cheap. Well, I guess not really cheap, but... Oh, I moved my pottery factory, or my pottery port down here. I'm gonna open trade with them right away, too. Just get that out of the way. Because I'm gonna put my pottery factories down here, and I'm just gonna make bank on it. Because I can produce a crap ton of pottery. So there's a pottery factory. It'll come right down here.